so much. So you may think by hearing that song that you know the answer. Love is all we need. Or is it? So the short answer would be yes and no. Let's start with the yes. For me, love is all we need if we are truly living the meaning of love. If we were truly living all that love is, then yes, of course, love's all we need. And that is described so eloquently in 1 Corinthians 13. I just can't find it in myself to read just part of this chapter. So please indulge me as we hear the entire chapter. If I speak in tongues of men or angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I speak in the tongues of men or angels, start that over again. If I speak in the tongues of men or angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and have all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I might boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. And here's the part that teaches us what love is. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast, nor is it proud. Love does not dishonor others. Love is not self-seeking, and love is not easily angered. And it keeps no record of wrongdoing. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. And when I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when we grew, we put away the childhood things. For now we see only a reflection as a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now we know in part, and then we shall know fully, even as we are fully known. And now these three things remain. Speak it with me. Faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. Love is all we need if we are living in patience and with kindness all the time. So think back over this past week. When were you maybe impatient? When did you have a thought that maybe wasn't so kind? I know I had them. At least one or two. Love is all we need if we are living without envy. Love is all we need if we are living without dishonoring another. Or without anger. Did anybody get mad today or this week? Did anybody get a little bit annoyed? Annoyance is a just smaller version of anger. So, did anybody keep track of wrongdoing this week? I have a long list. Yes. So if we're living into all of those things that Scripture tells us love is, then yes, indeed, love is all we need. Love is all we need if we are rejoicing in divine truth. Not our version of truth, but divine truth. Not their version of truth, but divine truth. Love is all we need if we are protecting everybody from everything all the time. Love is all we need if we are trusting and if we are hopeful. Did anybody lose hope at all, even for a moment this past week? Maybe even just a little. Love always perseveres. Oh my goodness, that all sounds so worthy to live into. It feels worthy of my time and attention to focus on these qualities and characteristics of love, and I will only speak for myself when I say I sorely missed the mark. Sorely missed the mark of what Paul wrote about to the Corinthians, about what love is. How about you? Were you on target all week? Were you on target every day with every encounter, with every person, with every news bite that you heard, every radio broadcast? Yeah, I see you laughing. Yes. I feel compelled to keep it real by saying I'm not living love all the time. Yeah, I'm surely not. But for me, that means I need something more than love. I need these spiritual tools to carry me back to love when I'm thinking and speaking and acting in ways that are not love. When I forget who I am. When I get pulled out of my center and when I get pulled away from that union and communion with my God, I need these tools to bring me back, to remind me, to say, hey, Karen, this is the way it's done. Come back to love. And we can do that over and over again. And the first one we come to is this power of prayer and meditation. You know, and I know lives are busy, right? We're all busy. We're all doing stuff 24/7. We're making our lists in our sleep for what to do the next day. And there's a Zen teaching that says if you think that you don't have time to meditate for an hour, then you need to meditate for 2. And that's not making fun of our time. It's just an emphasis on the importance of meditation, of coming apart from the craziness of the world and the chaos and confusion that the world presents to us, and to step away from that and to come within, to go in and put that aside. There's always going to be time to get back to that. It's always going to be there waiting for us. You know, generation after generation after generation has said this is the craziest time in the planet, and yet here we are again in a confusing, chaotic time. So it just is an emphasis on how important it is for us to use our spiritual tool of meditation to keep ourselves remembering and to keep ourselves in our truth. And we also have this power of prayer. Now, Thursday, we celebrated Unity's World Day of Prayer. We had a lovely gathering here. It was very soulful, and calling out all the names that you put into those lists was just magnificent and beautiful. And Unity has a style of prayer that's kind of unique to us. It's called affirmative prayer. And so there's a process to it. So we relax just like we do in meditation. And we gently guide our attention to that presence that is God. And we focus our attention, coming away from the world as Jesus taught us by his example. And we connect with our source in that silence. And then we hold a deep inner knowing of divine truth. We affirm what we wish to see. We affirm the peace in our world that we wish to see. We affirm the harmony in people's lives that we wish to see. We hold a vision of what we want to see in our world, not what's here, because this is not real. What's real is what is in that morsels of truth that are laid upon us in these times of prayer and meditation. And we feel that deep inner knowing of that truth. And then we sit in appreciation and gratitude for what is and for what is yet to be. As a go-to practice for all of us. And you know, yes, the story was meditate for an hour, but you don't have to meditate for an hour. Any time that you pause and bring yourself inward, any time you hold a light for someone who might be suffering, any time you throw out a blessing to someone, we talked about that a lot last week. Any time you hold someone in light and love, you're praying. There's a song that says, our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. So be watchful of what thoughts you're holding in your mind, because that's what you're holding for people. So if you're thinking anger, resentment, and retaliation, that's what we're praying for someone. Oh my. If we're holding love and kindness and compassion, that's what we're praying for someone. So keep our thoughts in check. Know what's rolling around in that space. Yes. We have this practice of mindfulness. Did you ever walk into a room and just, wonder why I came into this room? Please tell me that's not just me. Yes, we do that. We don't do that because we're forgetful. We do that because we're not mindful. On our way into that room, we're already 2 tasks ahead, thinking of what we're going to be doing later. And so we get into the space that we intended. Oops, forgot why we're there. But when we practice mindfulness and we move through our day in this moment, because this is the only moment that we have to live, this moment, right here, right now. What happened an hour ago is done. It's over. What's coming in the next hour, you might be anticipating that, but it's not here yet. But we're here right now. How are we going to be in this very moment? Being present to the here and now is the best gift we can give ourselves and the best gift we can give anybody else. Being present here and now. That's a wonderful practice for us. And time of reflection and contemplation. 5 minutes a day to just step aside and think about what you contribute to that consciousness of the collective. Think about these deep spiritual issues that are before us. Think about how you want to be. Think about your opinions and your perspectives and how somebody else's opinion and perspective differs. And both can be true. Both can be right. They're just different. Think about those things so that when you show up, you're showing up with clear, good intention and allowing spaciousness for others. Connection with spiritual community. We talked about that in our meditation today, how important it is to be connected some way, somehow with others on a spiritual path, consciously on a spiritual path. Practice. Practice compassion until you are compassionate. Practice compassion with everyone and everything. And my go-to is Harry Palmer's Just Like Me. And we've done it here before, and I've shared it before, but it feels worth sharing again. So when you have a person in mind who you might be out of sorts with, or you may have put on the edges or outside of your heart, think of them. And just like me, they are seeking happiness. Just like me, They are avoiding suffering. Just like me, they have experienced loneliness, sadness, and despair. Just like me, they are trying to fulfill their needs. And just like me, they are learning about life. Every time I do that, that softens my hardness towards a person and allows me to move to compassion. And from compassion, I'm able to go into forgiveness. And that's a talk for another day. But practice compassion until we are compassionate, truly compassionate. And then to practice love. Practice those qualities of love as described in 1 Corinthians 13 that we read. Practice love until you are expressing love. Until you are expressing who you really are, love. Practice it until you're authentically love. Because you can't fool the universe. You can't say loving, kind things and have hate, resentment, jealousy in your heart. The universe knows. Yes. Practice blessing others, just like we talked about last week. If you feel a little annoyance rising towards something or someone, share a blessing with them instead. Because you can't be in anger and in love at the same time. So the anger's going to go and you're going to bring yourself back to your truth. Now there are some words of encouragement that I want to share with you. And these are from Richard Rohr. Once we begin outpouring love as the foundational pattern of reality, and love as the very shape of God, then everything somehow falls into the same family resemblance. If this is the Creator, then somehow this must be the DNA of all creatures. If God is love, then our DNA is love. Not just the people that it's easy to see that love in, but the persons that are most hard, most difficult to see the love in. Their DNA is love. Because we are all that human family. No one is left out of that. We are all love, Richard Rohr says. And to love we will return. And last week I shared the words of Unity co-founder about love, but can I share them again? Yes? Thank you. According to Charles Fillmore in the Revealing Word, he says, love is the pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family. Of all the attributes of God, love is undoubtedly the most beautiful. In divine mind, love is the power that joins and binds in divine harmony the universe and everything in it. Divine love is impersonal. It loves for the sake of loving. It is not concerned with who or what it loves, or even if love is returned. Like the sun, its joy is in the shining forth of its nature. Love is the inner quality that sees good everywhere and in everything and in everybody. It insists that all is good, and by refusing to see anything but good, it causes that quality of goodness to finally appear uppermost in itself and in all things. Take that. Take that in your heart and take that home with you. And in those places that we might not be able to see good, know that good will emerge. Know that good will be made even out of the greatest messes that we in our humanness make. And I want to share these words of Warren Copeland. He says, "It takes a lot of faith to believe in a pervasive love that is the most powerful force in reality. But love is the only hope we are finally left with." And he is the past mayor of Springfield, Ohio, who made a difference. And what it said, that Warren Copeland's politics didn't grow out of his faith. His politics were his faith. He lived his faith each and every day. And notice this quality about love as you go out through the week, that once you get it started, just watch what love does. Because once you get it started, you can't stop love. Namaste.